Okay, so welcome to my presentation. It is about making client-safe websites. It is going to be hopefully practical and simple. Of course, you can do everything with code, but I'm going to try to find a balance. So it's about tips and tricks on making client-safe websites so they will be safe from clients. It's very obvious. It's very clear, right? So great to meet you guys. My name is PK. That is just 3 letters, P for potassium and K for potassium. For those of you who are not refreshed on the elements, that is the periodic table. That is potassium. So that's why this joke makes sense, and that is how I make my nerd cred very clear. I did actually study physics, but it's not. Anyways, so you can see with my nerd cred, I am a front-end web developer and also a UI UX designer. Means I get annoyed very easily by little things and I want to change it. So that's why I became UI UX designer. Have you noticed that when you enter an email in a field, even before you get to the end, it just starts telling you that it's not the right email? Like, just wait a second, let me go to the next one, right? Things like that annoy me, which is why I do this. So, yeah. And because of that, and I've been doing that for almost over a decade here in Australia and a few years before I came to Australia, and that gave me a global talent visa, and now I will be taking my citizenship test next week. So yeah, thank you. That's great. Like if I were getting booze for that, that would have sucked. But thank you so much for that. This is supposed to be purple, but it's not. But the contrast is high enough because we learned accessibility and all that kind of stuff. Contrast is high enough that you can read it, but it's supposed to be purple and it's supposed to follow the colors of my website, Almost Inevitable. It is a mouthful, but it teaches tutorials and courses on web design and development. And the reason it's called Almost Inevitable is because those tutorials are almost inevitable is the idea. That's the idea. And it follows that brand with this one. But I do work with clients. So the web design space is my white label website. That's why the website is white. And yeah, it's called the webdesign.space. That's not important unless you want to work with me white label. But if you're a client, then you get a non-white label, which means that it is dark. Oh wait, there you go, dark. Yeah, so it makes sense to me. And this, because I do things any way that I want, this hamburger menu is actually a hamburger. No, it is. Go check it out. It is. It is actually a hamburger on my website. So I've just introduced a little bit of things, a few things that I've built in the past. You might know some of them. Like this is during a little we had a little social thing in 2020, right? Called COVID. And lost my connection again. Yeah, so during COVID, UE made a couple of websites. They had a campaign called Life Changes, and they also had this, which is it's about responding. I don't know what it is, but UE had a couple websites during COVID, and they came to me because their IT section was not quick enough for this. So I spent almost I slept. No. The opposite. I did not sleep for about a month to finish that on time. But yeah, if you've seen Yui's campaigns during that time, that was me who made the site. And this is when Will introduced me. He said filmmaker. She is technically a documentary filmmaker. Her husband is Spike Lee. So yeah, I know, right? Yeah. And digital agency. This is all custom coded, by the way. And this is Jesse Jackson, if you know American politics. Yeah, Jesse Jackson, custom coded. Oh, no, wait, Gutenberg blocks, custom coded Gutenberg blocks. And this is done with breakdance. I also serve elves. No, you know, like the Santa Claus giving you a message and stuff like that? He does that, but an elf. So, smaller. Yeah, okay. All right, so let's say we've all finished these websites. This is probably a very common situation. You've all finished a beautiful website, right? And of course, it is beautiful. But It's not anymore, right? And it looks like this. So it's like, all right, so why does this happen? Right? There's no reason, right? But it's not always their fault. We need to remember that, right? It's not their fault because it's their website, right? And they want to do things on their website. So they should be allowed to, right? Because, you know, you bought a car, you're allowed to crash it. Right? Right? Yeah, it's not preferable or, you know, or advised, but you should be, right? Yeah, so let's Claire with the with those kids on the scooters, they always get hurt. Yeah, you bought a scooter, not wearing a helmet, you're going to get hurt, but it's their freedom to do that, right? So, right? Yeah, right? Yeah, right? So, now what do we do about this? Because now there's a standoff, right? Between you, the client, and their nephew. Who has done a website or two, right? Who knows what WordPress is? So I'm going to be sharing 3 tips about how to make a client-safe website. All right. Now these tips, like I said, I'm trying to find a balance and between practicality and ease, while sort of using my approach or philosophy to this. So it's not, you'll see what I mean. So before we even do that, there are some things that I do need to show you before we start talking about that and going into a demonstration, hopefully. Yeah. It's my, I don't like saying stack because I do code from scratch, but I don't consider myself full stack. But the word stack is used so often and sounds so cool that I'm just saying it. But stack, my stack. So, sorry? Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sponsored by. All right. So yeah. So my stack. I spelt it wrong though, but yeah, is pretty simple. It's just 3 plugins: ACF, Breakdance, and now WP Codebox. ACF. Yeah. Okay. So WP Engine. Anyways, the reason why I use WP Codebox now is because I used to use a custom plugin that I just made for myself, but there are a few things that WP Codebox does pretty well, so I'm going to mention that. So it's pretty much back end, front end, and then the need to add custom code. Pretty simple, right? Okay, so why ACF? It's because it's been around forever, so it has the best integration of all the meta field plugins. So there's MetaBox, Pods, and Toolset, and ACF. And out of all of that, ACF has been around pretty much the whole time and has the best integration with everything, like everything. So that's why I use ACF, because I don't want to worry whether it works or not. And Breakdance is pretty new in terms of page builders, but it is very fast loading. It's got really good UI as opposed to how some people might see it, because it keeps the things that you need easy to access, and the other ones you can just type if you know what you're looking for, and it just takes care of everything. And the keyboard shortcuts work really well because the CEO uses it himself, so things that he finds annoying, he fixes, which is great. Yeah. All right, so, and it covers the whole gamut. If you want a PHP snippet in there, you can just do that. If you want to run a function inside a code block, you can just do that. It does pretty much everything you want if you know what you're doing. And also, if you don't know what you're doing, things won't be that easy to break. So that's why I use Breakdance. And for WP Codebox, it's easy to use. Just install it and then just put the code snippets where you want. You can get them to load where you want them to. And then you also have access to cloud snippets, which is what I use. I'm going to show you in a demonstration how to use those cloud snippets to do what we want. You can save them up there. And another thing that's very useful for me is Sass. So I used to code and then compile with preprocess. I still do, but I used to too. It's a Mitch Hedberg joke. I code with Sass folders and then compile them with preprocess, and then I actually load them into Dropbox, and then you can get a direct Dropbox link to load on the website, so you can look at it pretty quickly while you are developing, and then take that off and then put it in the theme in the end. So that's what I used to do. And I still do that sometimes, but WP Codebox actually allows you Sass partials and Sass directly, which is pretty useful if you're, all you need is just a couple tweaks with things or just want to use a couple mix-ins. It just takes care of that. So I like it. So let's start with the tips. Let's go back to tip 1. The first point that you need to start with is asking who's going to be managing what. And that's, of course, we all understand that is a great way to start, but you really need to think about that and really implement that for them. Now, another thing is, depends on who is doing it. Not just them as a general client type thing, but depending on who is on their team. Some people are very sad that whatever they touch breaks, and some people are like, oh, I know WordPress. So it's different, right? And even if they say I know WordPress, you still need to know where their limits are and what they're comfortable with, right? Because most clients are not going to be writing PHP or JavaScript, but some people are okay with actually writing a couple lines of CSS, so you don't know, right? So you always need to think about who you are dealing with and who the main person that is going to be managing the website once they have it in their hands. And that means that you always need to be thinking about the users. No, sorry. Users backend is, okay. Sorry, it's the user journey on the backend, right? Yeah, that's how you should say it. No, don't want to get canceled or anything. Like cancel culture really sucks if you think about canceling your Wi-Fi. They really do not let you cancel your Wi-Fi. It took me so long to get Optus to cancel their Wi-Fi at my home. So that's the worst part of cancel culture. Canceling your Wi-Fi. All right, so I never say edgy stuff. So it's always going to be something that's silly in the end. Anyways, so you do need to think about their user journey, right? So, for example, some people I know really like using an obscure URL to log in, which is great because if the client is not very good with understanding WP is a short abbreviation for WordPress, they might not remember WP admin or WP login. So giving them a URL that says something like Badger might work, or admin, which is pretty easy, so I don't think that would be advised, but still you can change that URL for them depending on who they are. So it's all up to who you are dealing with in the end, right? And once they log in, what happens? They look at a dashboard, right? And that can be overwhelming. So there are plugins or there are snippets of code that you can use that can actually change that. And I do have a list of that and stuff like that for you later, but those are things that you can consider when you're doing this, right? So the whole philosophy of this for me is I have found that creating a positive experience is the best way to do this. So it depends, like I've spoken to a lot of people who make websites for clients and they find ways of doing this. Some people are like, clients are never allowed in the back end. Some people are like, they can do editor stuff. Some people change the admin menu items and stuff like that. That's all great. If it works for you, that's great. I'm just giving you another idea, another approach, saying that you can give them all the access in the world, but just give them a positive experience in what you provide for them, and it feels bespoke to them, and they sort of actually respect the fact that you did that for them, and they don't actually go in and want to be changing things. They call you up. And that's my experience. Like I've had a lot of alternate experiences. One of them, and I was talking to Luke about this before, but one of them was, so when I log in to other people's websites sometimes, and I'm still technically given an admin account, I log in and I don't see all the menu items. And that annoys me so much because that means that the person who handed them their website blocked them out of some stuff. And I don't think that's what I want, so I don't do that to my clients. I mean, even if they go to somebody else, still, I don't want to do that to my clients because the new person will hate me, and I don't want that either, okay? And another thing is, I've had one client in my 20 to 15 years of working with clients. but one client curse and yell at me, and that was because he thought he could, I don't know what he was thinking he wanted to do, but because I hid the ACF field group menu from the backend, just that one, he could access all the code, like theme, edit theme files, everything, just that one item, which has nothing to do with anything, because if you're not going to be, anyways, so block that one out, and he called me up and yelled at me and cursed at me for that. So I said, okay, you can have it back and just pay me and just, get out of my life. And I did get paid, luckily, because it was not a cheap site. But he was just so angry that I blocked him out of that. Now, did he do anything with it? No. The website stayed as is for a few years, and it broke down, and they called me up and asked me to fix it. Nothing was changed, but he was just angry about it. So that's why I think I don't like blocking them out or trying to give them their own path. I just open everything, and then I try to use positive reinforcement for them to accept my methods of using the website. So that's what I mean when I say establish the path of least resistance. Even if you do want to go that way, that's fine. They are allowed to, because it's their car, they can break it, right? And you can do that with lots of different ways, like training videos and handover documentation, all that kind of stuff. But it always comes from a point of positive reinforcement is what I think works best for me. Now, I might not look like a very positive person, and my general grumblings, my wife thinks is very negative, but I am positive to clients because they pay. All right, so tip 3, we're going to use dynamic elements whenever possible. And I think that really helps a lot, that things are dynamic. And I'm going to give you a demonstration on that, just a sort of a visual representation of what I think dynamic means. Let's see. Cards. I need 2 people. Anybody help me out? Josh? Oh, yeah. Lisa, right? Yeah, come on down. Josh, come on up. All right.
I feel at risk.
All right, and yeah, over there. Yeah, okay, cool. So, big round of applause for Josh and Lisa. Okay, so cards, right? Now, this is going to be sort of like what I think could be a performance representation of what I think dynamic fields are sort of like. Okay, so let's say you're a client, right? And we need the client's content, right? So it could be any of these cards, which is obvious, right? Can I have you put your finger on a card, please, Josh? Yep, pull it out. All right, show it to everyone. I want to look. Everybody got it? Got it? All right, can I have it back right here? I'm turned around so I can't see where you are. You got to put it right here? Yeah, I don't know where you are, so you got to put it right there? Yeah, it's very, okay, very good. All right. All right, takes control of the situation. Very good. Some people let me do that for 5 minutes. All right, don't forget. Got it? All right. Now, everybody's seen the face of the card, right? Face of the card. Did you check the back? No, not this card.
Well,
yeah, because thing is, we're talking about websites. This is content, right? So sometimes, not sometimes, it should be, this is all unstyled, but that one is styled. It says styled. Can you see that? It says styled. All right. You can hold your applause until we check what this is, right? So what was the card you picked? King of Hearts. So that is a styled King of Hearts. Yeah. Okay, so do we get what we're doing right now? It's got the content. Now it's styled, right? So let's say a marketer like Lisa comes in and she wants to change some of the content, right? Can I have you put your finger on a card, please? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Yeah. Go ahead. All right. Yeah. Go ahead. So yeah, show it to everyone. I want to look. Everybody got it? Everybody got it? All right. So have it back. All right. So it's a new card. Yep. All right. And you can see the back is unstyled. You're very forgiving, all all of you. If I do this, people are like, oh, yeah, throw things at me, but you guys are really nice. Thank you, very nice. So that's an unstyled 4, right? And this is a styled, what is it, king, right? Okay, so we need the marketer to change the content, and we're gonna change that. All right, so what we need to do is we need to take that style and move that over, right? So that's how I move it over, right? Your card was the king of hearts. So now we're back to the king of hearts, and your card was the 4 of hearts. So that's a styled 4 of hearts, right? Thank you so much. Give them a round of applause. Yeah, you can have that. So does that make sense? Whatever, it is actually her card, but yeah. Or are you just watching the magic and just the point just didn't matter? So the whole idea was that, I'm gonna have to leave that like that. The whole idea was that whatever the content, when it's output on the front end, it will still look the same even though you change the content, which is how clients should be feeling, and they will have a safe website that they can edit the content. Okay, so let's do an actual web demonstration, right? Okay, so the demonstration I'll be doing a few things. One of them is setting up a custom post type, and then I'm going to set up a template, and then we're going to connect the dots and make it dynamic, right? Okay, so just some websites that I want to show you before we get into this. So right now here, the demo website that I've set up is WordPress Studio. So this is, if you use local, I used to use MAMP, but what is it, local WP and stuff like that. WordPress came out with their own, and it's really easy to use, so I'm just using this now. I don't really care that much, so yeah, it works, that's fine. So just some websites that made for the client. So this, for example, has projects, custom post type projects, and I'll show you a page, and let's get into a page. It's a very simple website, and this is actually done with Gutenberg custom blocks, and this is all done in ACF, and then you can add the content. So I have styles here in a tab, and content in a tab like that, and then this one has just an image, and yeah, stuff like this. So the website, and the guy, oh yeah, well, he is a guy, and the guy has actually added some stuff to the website and changed some stuff, and it doesn't break. So yeah, it's good, right? I think he added one more, and now we have one left over, one over here. But yeah, it's fine, right? Sunny Coast people, you'll be able to recognize those names, right? Yeah, okay. This is a organization down in Victoria, and everything here is also done in ACF and breakdance. The thing is, here you can see the home page. We have the breakdance badge on top of the Gutenberg editor, and then underneath that, you have to scroll down to see that. Now, even this in and of itself can confuse clients. They're like, oh, I'm here, now what? And then if they click use default editor, everything blows up. So we don't want that, right? We do not want that, no. So I have to teach them, you scroll down, right? Now, they took out the hero image, and it annoys me so much, but now they have a pink, it should have a human in the back, but yeah, they're just used to the pink now, but yeah, so they add content here and there. I would not have added that little emoji there. They did. They did manage all the content, and it still hasn't broken, which is a relief. But yeah, this works because they appreciate the way that the backend is built custom for them. And it's not a lot of extra work, maybe 30 minutes, an hour at most for a page. Not even that, like 10 minutes for a page, and then if you go through all the few pages that you need, it doesn't take that long, maybe an hour. So, you know, you can add an extra hour to your quote. That's not a big problem, but the experience that they get from it is so much better than them clicking on the page builder button or use default and then breaking things. right? I'll show you another site. No, well, maybe not that one. Oh, maybe, okay, no, that one. All right, so now here, this is something that I've been mentioning a few times, but you can see that there are some green menu items, and those are the menu items that I've added. So the lady who says whatever she touches breaks, if it's digital electronic, she knows which menu that she can go into. Anything that's green is safe. If it's not, leave it alone, ask me, right? And this is what I mean. Like you could technically hide all the other elements, but for them, they feel like they do have control. They're just guided to the right place instead of being forced into a place, which is how I think. That's why I keep saying I think positive reinforcement is better for me and my clients. For example, all program outcomes, they can add stuff like that. They can have FAQs. These are all custom post types, and depending on which page they want it on, so if it's the same question on a couple different pages, they can have it on logged out users or school or industry, and it'll show. So the loop picks up the taxonomy that it's supposed to, and then it puts the question and the answer in the right places. So there's a loop on each page and the proper taxonomy assigned to it. So they can do this because it's green. They can manage this, and they have, which is great because I'm not going to be copy pasting everything for them. And these are also like posters that their students have made. Pages are also green, which could be dangerous, but it is not. So for example, you can see that the Gutenberg is now hidden away, and they can go in and edit things, and it did not break. Right? Okay, so, oh, you should see the front end so you know it hasn't broken, right? It's going to go up and just okay, yeah, so it didn't break. This is intentional. No, okay, she's not here, so I'm going to say this. She wanted this. Not the client who is editing the content. The head client, the head of the client wanted that. And this. This was not the original design, but they wanted that, so it is here. So please don't judge me. Yeah, so this is all here. Nothing is broken, and it all works. So yeah. All right, so let's do a demo. All right. This is very scary. All right. So you can see I have my three plugins, my three trusty plugins. So WP Codebox, Breakdance, and ACF Pro. There are other things that you could to make it a little better, like ACF has a columns plugin, so you can make your own UI a little better for their backend. You can also do it with groups, so if you don't want to add an extra plugin that might annoy you, then just use groups and give it a 50% to do that and stuff. But that's about it. No SMTP, no caching, because that has nothing to do with our purposes right now. That's why we have the three for the build, okay? All right, so ACF also does custom post types, so I'm going to start a new custom post type. It's going to be events, if I can spell it. Events, there we go. And event, singular. Taxonomy, we're not going to do taxonomy. Now, hierarchical, which is, I've been saying hierarchical and it's wrong. Hierarchical means that it's like pages. We don't want that. It's going to be like a post, like a blog post, so it's not hierarchical. Advanced configuration, turn off the editor. That means that we don't deal with the Gutenberg editor, just deal with our custom fields. Featured image is good to have. Custom fields, this doesn't matter at all. I don't know why it's there. No, yeah, but anyways. Visibility, now we can change it to look like, the icon to look like a carrot. And this is cute. And URLs, now this is actually important when you're building custom post types that are supposed to be in an archive. So if you turn that on, you can make an archive slug that says events, and that means if they go to the domain.com/events, that's the automatic archive page. Like with posts, you have a blog and then you assign that blog page. Same thing with that, but it just uses this slug. So let's save that. And I already built a field group for events, but it hasn't been assigned yet. So it's going to show on the posts. So I'm going to change that to event. And now when you're in the event, adding new event, then you can see the carrots there, right? Adding new event, and we now have this, right? So let's try new event. Yep. Address is TAFE, room 2. Probably the only room 2 in TAFE. 19th and 11 p.m. Doesn't really matter, right? Okay. Let's see, let's add some details. Right? Most obvious. And we're going to set a featured image because remember we allowed the featured image there, so we're going to pick a featured image. What do you want? Have you guys seen Sinners? It's really good. That's Sinners. None of you have seen it? It's all right. So it's Michael B. Jordan fighting vampires, which is why Cookie Monster, Count Dracula is there. All right. Okay. So keep up, man. Come on. All right. So, all right. We set a featured image here, and that's it, right? So I'm gonna save that, and let's. We got enough time. Let's make a breakdance template. So breakdance is sort of structured closer to how WordPress files are technically structured. So they're called templates, and you can add a post archive. Settings, we're going to add a post archive and we're going to name it archive. No, wait. Oh, we'll do singles first. Sorry, we'll do singles. Single post. There we go. Settings, single event, and location would be for events. All right. Now, I'm not going to style a lot of things, although we went through that whole magic trick where I showed you everything is supposed to be styled on the front end, but we don't have time to make every little styling choice here. So we're just going to add things real quick. All right, so we had the image, the address, title, time, date, and details, right? So start with title, image. Let's add a column just so we can add stuff in there. And what is it? Text. And image, text, details. Yeah, rich text should work with that. Okay. All right, so columns. There we go. We'll add that image in the first column. We'll add that heading in the second column. And we'll add another column. Not in there. And there, we'll add whatever meta details. Oh, you know what? Meta details in there would be better. Yeah, who cares about that column, right? Okay, so image, we're going to go add that dynamically. So that would be a featured image. All right, there we go. And heading is the title. So post title, there we go. New event. And that would be the meta stuff like event, address, date, and time. So I'll just duplicate that a few times. And first one should be address. Address. And we can actually put in front of it prepend address. And that should be fine, right? Okay. Let's do time. Date. Date first comes first, I guess. So we can prepend that with date. And the next one, time. Also prepend that with what goes in there, time. Yeah, we don't need that. We're going to add this as the event details. There we go. And this column can use gap of maybe 1 rem. There we go. And we're all good. Right, so done. that make sense? That was a little too quick, right? But see, that's how quick it is. All right, don't be amazed. Okay, you are amazed, right? Yeah, okay. So that's the best part of making this. So now people won't be editing the builder every time, because if they want to select text, they end up dragging elements into another column and stuff like that. So we don't want that, right? So let's now that we're here in events, got that. We can add more events anytime they want, and they will actually be able to do this. Now, what happens if we want stuff that is like the green menu items and stuff like that, right? Okay, so inside tools, there is WP Codebox, because I put WP Codebox inside the tools. And the cloud snippets, there's a hide pages Gutenberg. So I already have that in my cloud. And backend styles. So this is SAS, this is SCSS, because I like that rather than writing every line in CSS separately. So now we have this, and we enable that, save that, refresh. And you can see they're green. We want to add events. We can add that. Oops. We can add that. So if you look at these menu items, there's an ID there. It says menu posts event, right? So we're going to take that. And did you see that? Yeah, it's in the, yeah, okay. So let's go into the backend styles. And you see there's two of these, menu posts and menu pages. We're just going to add that one in there. Comma, and save that. Refresh. Oops. Refresh. And events is now green. Right? So now they know that they're okay to edit that, right? And they won't be clicking on everything and then start breaking stuff, right? Another thing that I've done here is hide pages Gutenberg. What this is, it actually makes, I'll enable that, save that. And now you will see I made a site options page. This is done through ACF. It is using the ACF hard code directly in here and then running it directly from there. The stuff itself is just a repeater field with a number in it, but this stuff down here takes that ID of that page and puts it and disables Gutenberg on those ones. So this is gonna be real quick. Let's add one to a page. All right, so let's go find a page. That's the only page I have. Privacy policy. All right, so hello field and hello field. All right, privacy policy page. We're going to add that to the privacy policy page. And if we go to that page, right, I'm going to hover over edit, and you will see on the bottom that that post ID is 3, right? 3. Now, right now we have Gutenberg, and we have that one field, the hello field there, right? Now let's go to site global settings, the one that I downloaded from the cloud snippet. Add row, make that a 3. Update, and we refresh this. All gone. Right? Yeah. So that means that you can make your whole layout with ACF, and they will be none the wiser, and they will actually enjoy it because it is bespoke to their content. Does that make sense? Yeah. So that's how I try to use positive reinforcement and custom layouts that actually don't take that long to do. Okay. Hope that. Okay. Yeah. There we go. All right. To make a positive experience for the clients, and they'll actually come to you if they want new layouts. It's worked so far, so I'm hoping it works for the future clients as well. Now this is the second to last slide. I just wanted to show that I know that word. So there's a thing called the cipher, and this is a breakdance, endless stream of content. Get industry leaders, some really good friends and people on there as well. New courses every month and stuff like that. So if you're interested, have a look. Everything that I've mentioned is on that page. I'll show you what that page looks like once we're finished, or maybe before that, but yeah, it's just almostinevitable.com, WCBNE, supposed to be WordCamp Brisbane. No emails unless you want to sign up. I have a free code for a course that you can use if you want. You can sign up for a course that is actually about making client-safe websites. So there's a whole course about that. It was made a couple years ago, but it's still all relevant now. It uses a very similar approach to what I've talked about here, but you got the more updated version from me today. So thank you so much. And if you have, I'll show you this page just so, if I can find it. Oh, there it is. Oh, there it is, yeah. So this is the page that you'll get. So it's WCBNE, and that is the code that I use to make the menus green. Now, this is Sass. So if you go into tools, there's a Sass to CSS tool that you can use to convert if you want. And disabling Gutenberg, that is, the code is here in this post, making client-safe websites. I also have another whole video on this, so you can watch that there. There's a PDF that you can download from that page as well. And there's a course that you can download, well, you can watch for free if you use that code, free coupon for you. It will expire at the end of July, so you can get in anytime before then. My stack, these are all affiliate links, except for ACF Pro because they don't have affiliates. Anyways, or if you want to use a blank plugin, you can use that. Yep. Yeah, and Cypher, more explanations here. You can watch the videos and stuff there. A lot of people have been complaining about the conversion rates of USD to Australian, and it's about 1.4, 1.5. So that is a 33% discount if you want. So the US number is the same as the Australian number, is the whole point. I have not given out any discounts to anybody yet. You're the first and only people so far. So if you want to take advantage of that, just use it. I don't believe too much into getting emails and then spamming you all day. So it's up to you if you want it. And this is another one about using, don't look at the face. It's another one, it's another one about flexible fields. So Breakdance and Bricks are the only two builders that allows flexible fields. But Breakdance's implementation is like light years ahead of what Bricks does, because Bricks, it's the same as coding if you use it that way. So Breakdance uses a very nice way of doing that. So if you want to learn about it and learn more about Breakdance, look at the Cypher, look at this video, and hopefully you'll enjoy it and your clients will too. Thank you so much.